New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis is a member of the House Border Security Caucus joining us now. Congresswoman, good to see you here on this Friday morning. We appreciate it.
Good morning.
Why are some of these, the statement was put out by DHS Secretary Mayorkas that FEMA would not have the money through the end of the hurricane season. And for anyone reporting what Mayorkas said is somehow spewing misinformation, can you describe what's happening by this Biden-Harris White House, this administration, doubling down on that point?
Well, a day before Helene struck, Congress did approve another $20 billion for FEMA. That's number one. Number two, you have Secretary Mayorkas, who oversees FEMA, saying that he doesn't have the money, and it's because of the migrant housing, of the emergency funds that they've been using for the man-made disaster that the Biden-Harris administration started with the lifting of 60 different executive orders that they had put in place. They had created this crisis and are using FEMA funds to transport and house migrants in cities across the country, particularly New York City, my home. What I will say is we've seen this time and again by this administration, whether it be the Maui fires, whether it be the Ohio train derailment, whether it be trying to evacuate citizens out of harm's way in Afghanistan, from Israel, from Ukraine, and now from Lebanon, where we are trying to work around this administration because they never seem to have a plan in place and they always take too long. So this is a mismanagement issue. It is an issue of lack of having proper priorities, and they are putting migrants' needs ahead of those of the American people. And many of those individuals, by the way, have committed crimes. So why are we using taxpayer money to house people in shelters in New York City who are actually committing crimes, murder, stabbings, shooting and assaulting police officers, a rape of young women? These are all individuals, by the way, if you look at the criminal history, they were caught at the border. They were released onto the interior, and they're being forced, we're being forced as taxpayers to house them. And it does come from a pot that is called emergency housing, FEMA's emergency housing.
Okay.
Wouldn't that money be better used for our American citizens in need right now?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and that's likely where this frustration is coming from the public when they see all of this money allocated to folks who enter this country illegally, and then you've got cries from American citizens saying, help us now, we are dealing with the devastation from the hurricanes. There's now been calls actually for Congress to return early to Washington to vote on more money for FEMA. We know you're out of session in Washington right now. In a statement to Politico, though, we're hearing from a spokesperson for House Speaker Mike Johnson's office, shutting down that idea, saying, to be clear, Congress will act again upon its return in November to address funding needs and ensure those impacted receive the necessary resources. Until the administration does the work to provide an assessment, any action by Congress will be premature. Congresswoman, should Congress reconvene earlier to vote right now on more FEMA funding?
Well, if the president completes an assessment and says that he needs a certain amount of money, we should return to Congress, but that is not what's happening here. We did authorize $20 billion right before we left, right the day before Helene struck, as I mentioned. They have the funding. It is an issue of prioritization by this administration. And not only that, the president has, access to pots. Look how many times he announces a pot of money going to Ukraine for something. How come he doesn't use that same authority here to act in this time of emergency? Again, if the president and his administration actually go on the ground and do an assessment and say that they are short X amount to fill a need, we will certainly go to Congress once the president calls us back. The president has that ability. He has not done that. So until he tells us what exactly is needed and what's lacking, what are we going to vote on without having that information?